Good morning, friends, and frenemies. Today is Sunday, August 17th, 2025, year 2, day 3, chapter 5. And this calendar is very interesting. It has some donkeys. So I've chosen to open with a spirit animal. And I just put the calendar into the book, and I got hyena and ibis. Every day, pause for a few minutes, at least a couple of times, and think the thought. Everything is sacred, and observe what happens as you do. Call the Egyptian god Thoth or goddess Isis for guidance and protection. Follow your heart and trust in its wisdom. You're going to be introduced to some ancient and sacred healing techniques and the wisdom that accompanies them, and that's an animal I have not heard of before. So of course we're integrating, we're working on step 12, carrying the Al-Anon message to others, and I've got some other interesting things that I've come across recently. I personally am on the 7 grandfathers teaching love. So I've been through humility, honesty, bravery, and I've got a few more teachings to go through. Today we're going to touch on ownership, leasing, mortgage, and renting, and why it's important to not include your 12-step work into the diversion of property, prestige, identification, theft, and real property. I'm not going to be reading from the AA book today, but I do encourage you to understand that there are many, many people who own their home, they live alone, they rent alone, they are absolutely alone together in their program. This is a book that came out before Adult Children of Alcoholics was created, and so it is not conference-approved material, so I was very blessed to get that book, and I would suggest you go to secondhand shops and take a look at what you might want to find. Here's another one. A Cherokee Feast of Days. It's a daily meditation based on this woman's experience as a Cherokee, the beloved Cherokee inspirational writer, Joyce. Okay, so just an overview. Property, prestige, a little townhome, a car, a drive. My personal idea in underground movement of secondhand goods is $1.5 million in property and prestige diverted so that I could do this for you. Dig into the 12-step program. I'm in my 11th year, but it's just year 2 since the president-elect was shot on July 13th a year ago. So, August the 17th, page 230. We sometimes forget when a painful experience it was to come to our first Al-Anon meeting. Remember the whirling thoughts, the fears, the uncertainty, uneasy questions came crowding into our mind. Is it the right thing to do? What will he say if he finds out? And I think that references to the person who is an alcoholic or addict. Today's reminder, the newcomer to Al-Anon immediately feels comforted and safe when she learns that she can talk freely without fear of having anything repeated. We owe her this assurance. We have committed it to our own traditions as well as our personal need for protection against careless gossip. I will remind myself daily that I must guard against revealing anything concerning Al-Anon or an AA member. Tradition 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles above personalities. And I'm quite a character if you ever got to know me. So personality is my strong suit. 2:30, courage to change. I just had a deja vu moment, so I'm going to move quickly on to, we're at 4:35, onto my notes for today. We're building this bridge of integration between the knowledge of Al-Anon and Alateen to AA. And the difference is that in Al-Anon we carry the message to others, which I loosely call it the other 10 people in the alcoholic's life. So if there's 12 people, maybe there's 2 people who drink and either consider themselves an alcoholic or not. 10 people need the Al-Anon program. And of course, those 2 people or 1 might want to consider the AA program because they carry the message to the addict or the alcoholic. There's also Celebrate Recovery, which includes a Christianity slant for those of you who think you have to give up your faith. In fact, you will strengthen your faith, and you'll begin to understand your God, whatever you want to call him, as a higher power. Or no God. Still having a higher power is important. So this $1.5 million in property and prestige that's been diverted, you might want to check out what a Canadian mortgage payment looks like and why people choose to rent or lease. Being a first-time homeowner is a kind of a looming thing when you need repairs and maintenance and support of your family, especially if you choose to be alone, or if you choose to collectively together as friends, say 6 friends get together, they each have $100,000 and they buy $1 million house, and then they have to learn to cooperate like the chicken coop. Cooperation, cooperative housing, cooperative living space. Now, the thing I really want to touch on is the illegal immigrant status and what they require when they arrive illegally on our property here in Canada. The desirable is to have a Canadian citizenship with a social check. So the vulnerable, of course, are all Canadians, because it's considered a faceless crime with any social monies like tax refund, vehicle as a business might be stolen and used in their name, ODSP, OW, and Social Security, or our aging population, our veterans, the retirement funds, that kind of thing. Secondly, it's going to be under-the-table cash business, and they're going to need some kind of disguise. So here I am with this little townhouse, a car. I have 2 trailers and a little driveway, and I live in Owen Sound, Ontario. And by my prediction, my debt to asset ratio, even if it was $500,000 to $50,000, my debt, being the mortgage on the house, was quite low, and the $500,000 would be the sale price of the house, and then of course the entire contents will be another $1 million. That's where I come up with the $1.5 million in diverted property and prestige, so that I can bring you this message today. 7:40.